Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we'll be discussing the 1983 horror film, Christine. Starring Keith Gordon, Alexandra Paul, and one of the guys was in Top Gun. Dean Stockwell. We're going to play Cougar in Top Gun. Of course, this movie is based on the Stephen King novel of the same name about this young guy who's played by Keith Gordon's character is obsessed of this old 1958 Plymouth and becomes obsessed with the car, and of course the car pretty much takes over his personality, and because the car has a personality of its own, it's like kind of like a haunted car. It's like, and it goes around, and the car itself goes around killing people. Killing whoever's involved in bullying Keith Gordon's character. And of course, for some reason, it's kind of like an indestructible car. It's almost like the Nightmare car. And it was like around the time the Nightmare was on the air too. So it's kind of like the Nightmare car that doesn't talk. That's haunted. Because Keith Gordon wanted to buy his own car, and he instantly saw this car. It looked like an abandoned car out in the middle of the woods, but it was actually owned by somebody, and the guy's brother originally owned the car, and he died from carbon monoxide poisoning because he committed like suicide, and the way was, and the guy explained the guy died from poisoning, carbon monoxide poisoning. But the truth of the matter was, it was the car who killed the guy. Which, of course, you eventually find out that the car, every time somebody tries to mess with the car drives out of the garage it was in and goes out and kills whoever had beef with the car, either a beef with the car itself or had beef with Keith Gordon's character. And that's what's going on through this whole movie. It was like really a crazy, messed up thing. And I'm not going to talk very long about this movie because it's really crazy. The only good thing about the scene, and it was really crazy. Like I said, the only good thing about the movie is that Keith Gordon in this film, because the only other movie that Keith Gordon is known for, unfortunately, is playing Rodney Dangerfield's son in the movie Back to School, which came out like 3 years later, in 1986, and the only other character, and the other two actors I mentioned, Alexandra Paul, who like approximately about 10 years later was starring on Baywatch, played Stephanie Holden in Baywatch, but between those two, she over the rest of the 80s, Alexandra Paul starred in a couple, like 2 or 3 different Perry Mason TV movies. And of course, Dean Stockwell, of course, like I mentioned earlier, played Cougar in the Tom Cruise movie Top Gun. But at least they had notable roles after this piece of turd of a movie. And like I said earlier, anytime anybody had beef with the Keith Gordon character, the car will act out and try to kill the person involved. And it was really crazy. Because Keith Gordon did buy the car for the guy whose brother died and his wife died in the car, and he believed that the car had something to do with it. Like, he's one of those crazy old guys who live in the woods who comes out with his crazy theories. And true enough, if you watch the movie, that stuff did happen in the film. You have Alexandra Paul to go to, because Keith Gordon takes it to a drive-in. And she doesn't, for some reason, she doesn't like the car. There's something about the car that wasn't right with her. And he goes out to fix the windshield wiper, and Alexandra Paul starts choking on the popcorn, because I'm in a drive-in movie theater, so there's a box of popcorn. All of a sudden, he starts choking on it, and he's going to try to get back in the car. He couldn't get back in the car to save her, and put a Heimlich, do the Heimlich on her. And it was really messed up. And then they felt, the car had something to do with it. And Keith Gordon was the only one who didn't want to believe it. But meanwhile, everyone else saw what was going on with the car except him. And of course, his parents, the court took, changed Keith Gordon's personality. In fact, he's striking out against his parents. He even choked his own father. Hooray! He choked his own father because his father was ticked off that Keith Gordon, the Keith Gordon character was mad that the parents wanted to get rid of the car, and he wouldn't get rid of it, and they struck out against the two parents, struck out against him because the car changed his personality. Because it's like a haunted car. It had car had its own personality and stuff. And it was really, really a crazy movie. And it did Keith Gordon's character, major spoiler for those few of you who haven't seen this movie, Keith Gordon's character dies at the end of this movie. The car runs him over because he then realizes that the car is completely messed up. So he ends up dying. But then the two, Agnew Paul character and the Dean Stockwell character, they ended up destroying the core, maybe. Because it implied the core is called reassemble at the end of the film. That's how the film ends. But this movie is really, really crazy. And it doesn't have to be a really die-hard Stephen King fan. Of course, you're going to like this movie. But it's like everybody's a piece of garbage in this movie. The only ones who were decent were Keith Gordon's two friends there that I mentioned several times already. Those are the only two decent characters in the movie. The parents were annoying. Keith Gordon was annoying. Even the guy who Keith Gordon works for, the garage owner, he was annoying. He also gets killed by the car. And there was a few people who gets killed by this car. I thought it was really cool how the car ends up killing him. This car gets blown up, gets destroyed. Gets destroyed. Everybody possible. The next morning it comes back and it looks like it's okay. I mean, it's like they must have used about maybe 20 different cars. I mean, the way this thing gets destroyed through the whole film. I mean, it's really funny to see. But that's the only real highlight because I'm trying to figure out how the car gets back to back into old shape, prime condition, after trying to destroy other cars and kill other people and run people over. But to me, that's the highlight of this movie, is how the car goes nuts and kills people. That's the only highlight. To me, that's the only highlight of the movie Christine, and that's all I can say about it. I mean, it's really not that much worth to write about. So that's except of course the John Carpenter, of course, he directed the first Halloween movie, directed this movie. So that's the only other thing good about it is that John Carpenter directed this movie, and that's it. So that's my review of the movie Christine. Please check on the video, please rate it, please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at RowdyC.com, so WDY, and at C.com. It's the homepage of Rowdy Reviewer, Christine Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.